Hi, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Frank Billingsley. It was a warm day. It felt more like summer. 91, 90, 87 in Galveston, not that far away from the wreckers. A few sea breeze showers moving in with the heat of the day. We'll see those again tomorrow. On Friday, this front finally makes an approach, and ahead of it, we'll see a southwest wind. Consequently, that's a dry, warm wind for us, so it'll be hot on Friday, but I don't think we'll see much rain. It's just too dry coming in. And then the front moves through as we get toward the weekend. Here's the problem, obviously. Matthew, everybody's been watching that. 120-mile-an-hour winds, gusting to 150. That's the latest. It continues to move right through Nassau and Freeport. That is the worst location for those folks. That's that right-hand punch, that dirty side of the storm is always the northeast quadrant relative to the motion, and that's it right there through Nassau and Freeport. And then what happens in Florida? Well, that's a cone of uncertainty. That's the forecast cone. It goes from inland to the coast to just offshore. If you follow the track, that's the middle of the cone, to well offshore, maybe a good 150, 200 miles. So it's hard to say. We've got to brace for the worst case scenario, and that's what they're doing. And then it winds back into the Atlantic, maybe. It depends on whether it gets picked up by that front that's going to be coming through here or not. But some of the models want to bring it back to the south, including the American and the European models. But a lot of the other models don't do that, as you'll see with the spaghettis. In the meantime, here's a look at the tropical futurecast. As it continues to move across Freeport, it wants to keep this relatively offshore. Even for the Carolinas, it stays offshore. So we'll see if that changes as we go through the forecast. The spaghetti models tighten up right here along the coast of Florida. And then as they wind back, look what happens. There's this huge spread of solutions. So what happens after the Carolinas, we just really don't know. In fact, we really don't know if Florida is going to take a direct impact or not. They haven't been hit by a major hurricane since Wilma in 2005, so 11 years ago. But heavy rains, a lot of surge, 30 to 40-foot waves offshore, and the winds, the strong Category 3 or better hurricane force winds are the red, hurricane force in orange, tropical storm force in yellow. So even if this system stays offshore, this kind of wind for much of the state is forecast for Friday into Friday night. Then Saturday for Georgia, the Carolinas on Saturday, and then we'll see Sunday whether this moves offshore or not. In the meantime, for us, may see a little patchy fog tomorrow morning, not a lot like we did this morning. Highs again up around 90 with a 20% chance for a shower. It looks like we'll see the futurecast for us bring this cool weather in here once we get to finally Friday night. The front moves through. So Saturday and Sunday look pretty good. The big question mark, is this low too far north to help tug Matthew off into the Atlantic? And if so, does the high that's going to be here start to push it back to the south? Forecast for your hair, we've seen worse. As you saw, a 20% chance of rain for tomorrow. The Greek Fest and the Bayou City Fest are all going on this weekend. Tailgating, even though we're at the Vikings' hometown in Minnesota. And then the Galveston Greek Festival is the following weekend. A little warm up there at 90 degrees. But all in all, it looks like we have fairly quiet weather and finally a cool down for the weekend. Make plans to enjoy it. Get all of your weather anytime right here at click2houston.com/weather.